It's your day in tech history, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Carbonite, where you can get a 15-day free trial by going over to geekazine.com/carbon free. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and I welcome you to the Day in Tech History at dayintechhistory.com. It's part of the Tech Podcast Network. You can subscribe via iTunes, Zune, or Stitcher Internet Radio. Our Twitter is Day in Tech Hist, and all show notes are on the wiki page if you want to follow along. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history. August 2nd, 1909, the Army Air Corps purchased its first aircraft for only $25,000. It was designed by the Wright brothers to meet Army specifications of a powered flying machine capable of carrying two people at least 40 miles per hour. 1932, Carl Anderson of Caltech recorded the first photograph showing the positron, which is a antimatter particle which is the first antimatter particle to be detected. 1972, IBM introduces multiprocessor models of its IBM System 370 family. The 158MP and the 168MP models included a feature called Virtual Storage. 1985, Universal Pictures releases the sci-fi comedy Weird Science, directed by John Hughes, starring Anthony Michael Hall, Kelly LeBrock, Ian Mitchell-Smith, Bill Paxton, and Robert Downey Jr. 1993, Michael Olansky, otherwise known as Ionizer, was arrested for 2 anarchy files on his warehouse BBS, which contained bomb-making instructions. 1994, Donald Thomas, who was the director of customer service for the Atari Corporation, completes a report of registered Jaguar owners. 14,099 registered owners, 99% are male, 82 of the respondents were between 12 and 34, and 40% were between the ages of 18 and 24. 1996, Apple Computer introduces the dual-processor Power Macintosh 9500 180MP computer, which featured 2 180 MHz PowerPC 604E processors, 32 megabytes of RAM, and a 2 GB hard drive for $5,699. Apple also introduced the Performa 6400 computer featuring a 180 or 200 MHz PowerPC processor with a 256 kilobit level 2 cache. And Apple also introduced the Power Macintosh 9500 featuring a 200 MHz PowerPC 604E processor, 32 megabytes of RAM, and a 2 GB hard drive. 1997, Wizards of the Coast was granted a patent on several basic CCG techniques. They would use these patents to leverage a contract to become Nintendo's manufacturer of Pokemon card game. 1999, Intel releases a 600 MHz version of the Katami Core Pentium 3 processor for $669. Microsoft releases early test versions of Millennium, and SGI announced that it would use Intel processors for the first time in a server, introducing the 4-processor SGI 1400 server with support for Windows NT and Linux. And now this word from our friends over at Carbonite. Back up now, back up often, and back up off-site. I back up on-site in my house in many ways. But if fire, flood, theft, or other natural disasters happen, tornado season is coming up, my Carbonite backup will save me from losing it all. Photos, documents, my life. Best part is I can access my backup files from another computer when I log into the Carbonite service. Even those vacation photos right to my phone using the Carbonite mobile app. Save yourself from total loss. Get a 15-day free trial over at geekazine.com/carbon free. That's geekazine.com/carbon free. Or if you are a small business, save your business data for under $300 a year by going to geekazine.com/carbonite. That's geekazine.com/carbonite. Back up now before it's too late. Now let's get back into your day in tech history. Back in at 2000, the Santa Cruz Operations Software Company announces that it will sell its server software and Services Division, as well as Unixware and Open Server Technologies, to Caldera Systems. Purchase would be completed in May of 2001. Also in 2000, the United States Judge James Robinson orders an emergency hearing on its privacy rights organization's request for details about a Federal Bureau of Investigation email surveillance tool called Carnivore. The federal courthouse hearing in Washington, the judge ordered the FBI to comply with the privacy group's request pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act. Now, Carnivore was a policeware that essentially customized packet sniffer that monitored all target internet traffic. 2001, Federal Appeals Court rejects Microsoft's request to rehear a prior ruling against them, finding that they had improperly exercised monopolistic power to have commingled Internet Explorer with releases of Windows operating system. 2004, the Mozilla Foundation announced a $500 bounty for high-risk security bugs in their open-source software projects, Firefox browser included. 2005, Apple Computer releases the Mighty Mouse for Macintosh computers. It featured a 360-degree scroll ball and programmable buttons. Price was only $49. Also in 2005, Enernetica releases version 1.0 of Volume Photo SE, which is a software suite for the creation and editing of panoramic photographs. And in 2006, version 9.01 of the Opera web browser is released. And Ziff Davis and Microsoft jointly announced that Computer Gaming World magazine would be discontinued in November after 269 issues. It would be replaced by Games for Windows, the official magazine. And that's your day in tech history. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at DayInTechHist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2014 JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.